Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full breakdown of the new update, the bottom dollar bounties update. So we got it the other day and I'm going to go over everything that came with it and what I recommend doing with the business and the upgrades, as well as go over, how much money you'll make and even career progress and stuff like that. I'll also be covering some of the ways to get the bonus loot in the high value target missions, so stay tuned for that. So first of all, we're going to talk about the locations here. So there's 5 locations in total, so the most expensive being 2.62 and then the lowest at 1.65. that is base without any customizations. So for fully customized, it is 4.8 for the most expensive location, which is downtown Los Santos, and then 3.9 for the fully customized low based one, so it is in Paleto Bay. So there are 4 in the city, then just the one in Paleto Bay. The footage on screen here shows me buying the most expensive one. I usually do get the most expensive one, and honestly, you'll have to make a decision for yourself, but I think the most expensive one might actually be worth it in this update especially, and I recommend getting all the upgrades without a doubt. So I mean, you don't have to get the personal quarters, the gun locker. Those things are kind of whatever. But I do recommend you get armor plating, and I definitely recommend you getting the agents. So it's very helpful. It's extra money. Honestly, the money's not the best with the agents, but it's still money nonetheless. And you'll need it for some career progress, which I will talk about later in the video. So it's ultimately up to you which business you want to go for. Like I said, I recommend going for the most expensive. I think it's honestly worth it, but it's honestly up to you, because from my experience so far, I've noticed that a lot of the missions do take place in the city, but there is also quite a few that take place in the Sandy Shores, Paleto Bay area, or at least just outside the city. So it's honestly up to you. Like, out of all the updates, I think that the one in Paleto Bay, I think actually has some tangible benefit in this update, and I do find myself, especially lately, the last little bit that I've played of it, I find myself driving out there for every single low value bounty target. So I'm driving all the way to Paleto Bay. So obviously it would be a lot quicker if I had the Paleto Bay location, but on the other hand, it's very nice being in the city. There's multiple benefits in my opinion. So obviously the ones that are in the city are nice and close. They're usually within 2 kilometers of the most expensive property, as well as you get the benefit of being able to do the brand new vigilante missions a little bit easier as well. I find most of those are also in the city. There have been a couple of times I've driven out to Sandy Shores for those, but I find those are mostly in the city. So if you're going to be like me as well and store your cruisers in your 2-car garage that comes with the new business, then you are going to have a little bit of benefit there. And then, like I said, a lot of the high value ones as well are in the city. All 3 of them that I've done so far have been in the city, which is nice. It makes it a lot easier. But you also start that through an actual mission screen. It actually starts with a lobby before you go into it, but that doesn't change much. So I would honestly recommend getting the most expensive option. It's going to be worth it in the long run. And I was originally going to suggest, maybe if you don't have a lot of money, to buy the lower end one and then work your way up and buy the difference, because a lot of times you won't have to rebuy the upgrades if you go from another property to a newer property of the same business type. But in this update I checked, and it seems like you would have to pay for everything again. The agents in themselves are 1.5 million, so it's honestly worth it just to buy right off the bat the most expensive, in my opinion. And the other benefit of the most expensive compared to the other ones in the city is it sounds stupid, but it is going to save you a little bit of time, because it is closer to those Sandy Shore and those Paleto Bay ones. You are pretty close to the back roads to Paleto Bay and Sandy Shore, as well as the highway, and it is the closest one in the city to both of those locations. So yes, in the long run it will save you a bit of time, but it's ultimately up to you. It's still a very good property if you decide to go out for Paleto Bay. And like I said, there are a decent amount that take place out there, but there's also just as many that take place in the city, so it's ultimately up to you. Either way, I think it's a pretty good investment, but like I said, I really recommend just going straight for the most expensive. Save up a little bit more if you have to. I think in the long run, it's definitely going to make it a lot easier for you, and it's, you know, a lot easier for everything involved in this update. So going over what I'm sure most of you care about, the actual tangible benefit from buying this business, because I'm sure a lot of you out there do not have every business and you're just looking for the ones that make you the most money. And I can say that this one's alright. It's honestly not the best, but it's also not terrible. So there's a couple things that should be noted whenever you're deciding whether you want this business or not. So to start off with, let's just go over the actual bounties and how much each of them are worth. So the high value ones are usually worth around 130,000, and then on those missions, you also can find a bonus piece of loot for whatever mission it is. I will go through that later on. I'll show you guys the first 3 high value targets we've had. I will show you guys how to find and get the bonus loot, but unfortunately the bonus loot is only worth 5,000, so honestly not that much and not worth it in the long run. But as you can see on screen, the ones that are lower, the ones that refresh every hour, so the high value target, they refresh every day, and then the 3 low value targets, they refresh every hour, and they range from around 36,000 to about 40,000. I might have actually seen one that was 41,000, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember correctly, but around there, still around 40,000 or so. So like I said, that's not bad. The high value ones are definitely worth it, but once again, you only get one a day, which is kind of disappointing. So I'll go over here the different ones that I've done so far. So the first 3, which I believe they're the same for everybody from what I can tell, the first 3 high value targets that we've had so far. So the first day was Grace Whitney, which is the target that I'm going to show you right now. So getting her was pretty easy. So like I said, you go into a separate lobby to actually start these missions. So it's more of a contact mission structure, whereas the low value bounties, you do them in free mode. So obviously you have to worry about griefers a little bit more, whereas these ones you can launch them on your own, which is nice. It's solo friendly, and you can just do it yourself or do it with your friends if you want. So in this clip, I'm going to be showing you guys where the bonus loot is. Now, I don't know if it's going to switch locations. Obviously, I'm going to have to find that out next time I play this mission, but I don't think it's going to switch locations, but I could be wrong. There was a couple other plaques or spaces for the artwork to actually sit, but I believe that it will probably be here most times, if not every time in the future when you play. So you just go over to it. You need to find a bag to actually put the artwork in, and then all you got to do is you got to do the mini game. That's the same from the casino heist. If you ever have robbed artwork from the casino vault, then it's the same little mini game where you just cut it out, and then that's an extra 5,000, which, like I said, it's not much, but it is better than nothing, I guess. And then we are going to move on to our second target here, which is Cleo Song. So this one I had a bit of trouble finding, but you actually have to wait till you get to the stage, and then you will find a trailer that you can walk into on the other side of the set from where you come in, I believe, and you'll just have to pick up the mask there, and then you'll get it. And then the third one, which is Brock Thompson, you just, once he gets out of the truck and you defeat him, or whatever you want to say, get him to surrender, then you just go ahead and jump in the back of the truck, and you will see some bull shark testosterone that you can steal, and then all those things will give you $5,000 extra, which is honestly really nice. Now, I also want to give you guys a word of warning. So if you are going to get into this business, please make sure that you bring the targets in alive, because doing the low value targets, now I've never tested it with high value targets because I want the money, obviously, but for low value targets, even the ones that are worth on the higher end $40,000. They will only give you $9,000 if you kill them. So it's only worth the money if you are bringing them back alive. So you just need to use a taser, and sometimes just even aiming your gun at them will make them surrender. And I also believe you can just shoot their firearm out of their hand. I have not tested that yet, but I think that that's one way to disarm them, and then they will surrender. But yeah, I just want to give you guys a word of warning. It's kind of cool because you actually bring them to the corner instead of the actual bail enforcement agency. It makes sense, but it is very much not worth it. Just like Red Dead Online, whenever you're bounty hunting, if you ever played that, it is definitely not worth it bringing the target in dead. It's well more worth it to bring them in alive. So I recommend only bringing them in alive, so just be careful of that, and make sure you don't accidentally shoot them. There is plenty of new vehicles in this update, actually quite a few good ones. First of all, I'll go over the brand new police cruisers, which I'm sure people are the most excited about. I know I was. So first of all, you have the Greenwood Cruiser, then you have the Dorado Cruiser, and then the Impala SZ Cruiser, all of which new with this update, and all of which include dispatch work, and they all have their own trade prices, which you can unlock through doing dispatch missions. I have another video on my channel covering how to start and how to unlock those vehicles. We also have some very nice new vehicles on Legendary Motorsport. So first of all, we have the Invetero Coquette D1. Next we have the NS Euros X32. Next we have the Ubermacht Niobe. And then the Anus Paragon S. And then last but not least, we have the Bulikan Envisage. Honestly, I was afraid to pronounce that one, but I think I did alright. And last but not least, on the next website, we have a brand new car on Southern San Andreas Super Autos. And it is only one, but obviously, like every other update, I'm sure they're going to be drip feeding quite a bit of content, especially cars, that's for sure. But the one and only car that's on this website for now is the D-Class Yosemite 1500. So I'm also going to quickly cover the new career advancements that are with the update, with the new business specifically. So there's honestly quite a few cool things to unlock, and a lot of them were seen in the cover art or the title art, and a lot of them have been ones that people were looking forward to, especially the tier 3 reward, but we will get into that one in a second. So first of all, we have tier 1. All you have to do is set up a bail office, and then you have to meet mod, and then secure or eliminate a bounty target. Honestly, easy enough. This is the easiest one. You'll do that first mission you do. And this is what it looks like. It's a nice little track jacket. To get to it, you have to go under tops and then career progress, and you'll see it there. Very easy to get, and honestly looks pretty good. I like it. So for tier 2, it's a nice new stun gun finish, which is fitting because you will be using it a lot in the bounty hunting, because it is very much not worth it bringing them back dead, that's for sure. So all you're gonna have to do for this one is secure, eliminate 5 standard bounty targets, secure or eliminate 2 most wanted bounty targets. So you're gonna have to play for at least 2 days, and then you're gonna have to earn 250,000 from securing or eliminating bounty targets, which is also pretty easy because within those 2 days doing the 2 most wanted bounty targets, you'll get that. So honestly, once again, another pretty easy one. And here is what it looks like, and you can purchase the stun gun from the gun van this week, or you can also, I believe, purchase it at your agency if you have your own gun vendor within your agency. But it is honestly a really nice finish. I like it, and like I said, it's pretty easy to get. And the one that I'm sure everybody is looking forward to the most is tier 3. So tier 3 gets you the brand new vest that was in the cover art. It is actually an outfit, so you can find it under outfits and then career progress. But to unlock it, all you're going to need to do is secure or eliminate 10 bounty targets without losing a life. Secure or eliminate a most wanted bounty target 3 days in a row. And then secure or eliminate 25 bounty targets. So all in all, pretty easy. Honestly, a really good one. Once again, not too bad. pretty easy. Like I said, I think this is one of the easier career paths that they've released, which is nice. So yeah, honestly pretty easy. Just have to log in for 3 days in a row. Obviously do the high value targets. And then the eliminate 10 bounty targets without losing life is pretty easy. And then obviously just securing 25 targets, which will just take a bit of time. For the fourth and final tier, unfortunately I don't have this one to show you guys, but you are going to unlock the Canis Castigator. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Please forgive me if I'm not. And then for this one, you're going to have to unlock 10 platinum awards for bottom dollar bounties, which is honestly pretty easy because I think there's around like 6 high value targets. And once you secure them for the first time, you'll get a platinum for each of those. And then secure all bounty targets alive, which you'll actually be able to see the names that you need if you just press whatever button it says to expand the challenges. So if you expand the challenges, it'll tell you which ones you have and which ones you don't. And then $1 million in additional income from your office agents. Like I mentioned earlier, that's why I recommend you getting the actual agents for your office. It'll obviously progress you towards this, and it will take a while. The safe can only hold $100,000, and usually they only get, if they're lucky, $10,000 per person that they bring in, and that's per agent. So let's say 20,000 roughly. You know, it's honestly not that much most times, but still. And then you have to earn 5 million from securing or eliminating bounty targets, which is honestly not bad. I find a little bit easier. You should finish those around the same time. You'll probably finish the 5 million a little bit faster, and otherwise not too bad, and you'll get there pretty quickly if you just play through it. It's one of those things where you'll get it just by playing, obviously. So it's honestly nice. It's a nice easy tier to get. Like I said, I wish I had it to show you guys, but unfortunately I don't have that one unlocked yet. But yeah, look for it in a future video. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for me for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. If you have anything to add, please leave it in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.